What if I told you that leadership is not about domination, not about performance, not about the spotlight, but about atmosphere? What if I told you that the true sign of a chosen one is not how loudly you can shine for a moment, but how steadily you can hold the climate so others can breathe? What if the future is already leaning towards you, not because of your words in public, but because of the secret grammar you practice in silence when no one is watching? What if your life is writing sentences into time that people's bodies will read long before their minds can explain why? Chosen one, leadership is the grammar of the future. Grammar is the hidden structure that lets meaning move without spilling. And if women are willing to place years of their lives into your hands, then your hands must learn the syntax that does not waste. Syntax begins with sovereignty, but sovereignty is not dominance. It is not conquest. It is not possession. Sovereignty is self-governance so strong, so steady, that no external storm can overthrow your inner weather. Praise comes. You absorb it without becoming hollow. Criticism lands. You digest it without becoming cruel. This steadiness is not a trick, not a mask. It is the fruit of vows kept in hidden rooms, in quiet mornings, when no one is there to applaud you. That discipline allows you to be a thermostat in a world full of thermometers. Thermometers react. Thermostats regulate. Thermostats do not seek to impress. They set the tone. And the future does not place its trust in spectacle. It trusts in normalized goodness, in climates that endure. Your presence must learn to steer pace as a pilot steers altitude. Too high, and people lose breath. Too low, and turbulence shakes every word. You ascend when awe needs a wider view. You descend when detail needs to be seen more clearly. You circle when clarity requires another pass. You land when the runway finally appears. Announce these shifts aloud. Say, I am slowing us down here. Let us sit in silence for 30 seconds. Let me check my tone and watch how bodies regulate in your calm. Regulation is not the death of passion. It is the soil where passion endures without collapsing. Only a steady cabin can carry a long flight with joy. Do not be the soloist who demands the spotlight. Be the conductor who ensures every instrument is heard. When humor enters late, smile, cue it, and let it play without drowning sincerity. When tenderness begins too softly, raise it until even the balcony feels it. When intensity races ahead, hold the baton steady and let the measure complete. Under this kind of stewardship, the music becomes something rare. People do not replay spectacle. They hum truth, and humming truth is how the future records its calendar. Power must be practiced like economy. Power can advertise itself, or it can equip. Chosen ones choose to equip. Equip with truth, spoken at a humane volume. Equip with access, by opening doors that do not need guarding. Equip with protection, by naming edges before anyone cuts themselves on them. People who are equipped become radiant. Their radiance does not threaten yours. It proves your source. Radiance multiplied is the fastest sign the future looks for. Proof you are not harvesting attention, but multiplying wholeness. Keep curiosity and discernment bound together. Curiosity without discernment becomes intrusion. Discernment without curiosity becomes judgment. Together, they create hospitality for the soul. Ask questions that are doors, not drills. Listen in ways that widen breath, not in ways that measure leverage. And when you see danger, name it calmly. Do not dramatize. A calm warning is a bridge with rails, not a performance of control. Bridges with rails invite travelers. They reduce rescues, and fewer rescues leave more energy for celebration. Endings must be sacraments. Every closure should carry 3 gifts: gratitude that names the good with precision, intention that enslaves no one, and a pace that allows hearts to catch up to bodies. Do not vanish and call it mystique. Do not linger and call it love. Land with coherence, for the strength of your landings builds an inheritance of ease. And ease is not laziness. Ease is the absence of concealed costs. The future runs toward places where it will not be surprised by a bill. Your words must build shelter. Words are roofs and beams, doors and windows. If you bless, build a porch, easy to step on, wide enough to rest upon. If you correct, build a window, clear sight, no draft. If you commit, build a beam, visible, weight-bearing, true. Long after you've spoken, the structure must stand. She will test it later, in ordinary hallways, under tired light. If the ceiling does not sag, her imagination will give you another year of trust. Guard your solitude. Without it, public kindness collapses into performance. Solitude is where you and your source reset first principles. Why you are strong, what your strength must serve, which appetites must be trained, which joys must be preserved. Without this treaty, you begin borrowing against tomorrow, and borrowing is the enemy of futures. Chosen ones do not borrow, they invest. Their prayers are deposits. Their quiet refusals are deposits. Their honest labor is a deposit. Their rest is a deposit. Peace is the dividend. Peace that travels without needing an audience. Play must become liturgy, not distraction, but reverent play. The play that appears when fear has been disarmed. Invited into serious rooms like sunlight through high windows. Let your laughter ring like a bell, calling courage back from the corners. Do tricks for sadness, not to mock it, but to remind it joy still breathes here. The future needs joy that can survive weather. Weatherproof joy is not loud. It is loyal. It shows up in kitchens, in crowded calendars, in heavy weeks. It says, I am here for habitat, not for highlights. Train hunger until it becomes hospitality. Untrained hunger grabs. Trained hunger opens. One consumes. The other creates space. When your reach becomes an opening, consent sings instead of braces. Devotion matures desire into direction. And this is why feminine women feel time bending toward you. Their bodies are reading more than warmth. They sense warmth moving toward a future. Be a place before you are a plan. A place invites, clarifies, repairs, and holds. A plan organizes, schedules, measures. Without place, plan becomes a machine that devours its makers. When you choose to be a place, habitable, breathable, steady, the plan writes itself across your life. Chosen ones do not chase tomorrow. They create climates where tomorrow walks in smiling. Love must be treated like an ecosystem, not an economy. Economies count and trade, panic in scarcity, and waste in abundance. Ecosystems recycle and sustain. Recycle joy into gratitude. Recycle conflict into clarity. Recycle silence into guidance. Recycle applause into service. Compost excess into humility. Mulch thin days with memory. Bodies recognize sustainable climates before minds can name them. That recognition is what people call, "I can't wait to make you my future." Promises are not spells. They are structures. Without beams, they collapse. Without gaps, they suffocate. Timber is character, strengthened by repetition. Time is cadence, measured by restraint. Such promises invite inspection. They welcome it. Theater burns bright and apologizes. Structure stands steady and invites a housewarming. Homes warmed well adopt the future long before contracts are signed. Learn the language of intermission. Life is not only overture and finale. It is pauses where breath resets, where appetite clarifies, where silence trains desire into devotion. Intermission is not absence. It is covenantal pacing. Honor it. Let distance purify longing. Let silence mature devotion. Devotion is wanting that has grown strong enough to work in bad weather. It washes dishes without resentment. It survives storms without panic. Legacy is not the statue. It is the streetlight that still shines in the rain. It is the bench that does not splinter under conversation. It is the daily choice to finish one step so another can begin clean. Legacy is infrastructure. Quiet, sturdy, reliable. The feminine imagination, long acquainted with broken systems, hears such steadiness as a lullaby for decades. That is why anticipation softens eyes and strengthens spines around you. Sovereignty without hospitality is a fortress. Hospitality without sovereignty is a carnival. You must be neither. You must be a well-governed square. Shade on one side, sun on the other. Music that delights, but does not drown conversation. A fountain keeping time for children and elders alike. This square is your field, your essence collected and distributed with wisdom. Sexual energy animates it, but devotion secures it. Apprentice your desire to generosity. Generosity is not what costs you nothing. It is giving in ways that multiply what is given. Multiply oxygen with listening. Multiply courage with accuracy. Multiply joy with restraint. When desire is baptized in generosity, it stops chasing applause and starts hosting alignment. Alignment is the sound futures make when they click into place. Faint to the ear, thunder to the soul. Chosen one, carry time as seed, not spotlight. Seeds grow unseen. Seeds grow in patience, watered in silence, far from applause. This is why your mornings matter more than your entrances. This is why unseen refusals perfume weeks. The feminine body reads these decisions as weather. It does not need headlines to know when sap is rising. It knows your yes means the same on a Tuesday under fluorescent lights as on a Saturday under chandeliers. Grandmothers call it reliability. Poets call it cadence. The body calls it home. Futures do not need chasing. Under your climate, they arrive of their own accord. They arrive smiling because they finally recognize home. That night when you chose humility over pride, when you opened your mouth to apologize not from weakness but from strength, you found the exact height where your words could land without shame. You guarded the boundary without punishing. Let laughter live without turning it into a weapon, and held silence until truth grew a spine. These moments are not trophies. They are instruments. You will take them down when the weather shifts. Choose the one that fits the sky. and play it. And when she hears, she will know your steadiness is not obsession but orchestration. Orchestration is what allows grief and joy to share the same table without consuming each other. Your leadership must grow beyond charisma. Charisma can warm a room, but climate sustains a village. Climate is invisible work, filters changed, leaks sealed, thermostats recalibrated. Do the same within yourself. Adjust your motives when praise twists them. Replace the filters that keep cynicism out. Seal the leaks where exhaustion lets impatience in, and seal them with rest. When you do this, the air around you becomes safe. And when the air is safe, children laugh louder, elders soften, mistakes turn into apprenticeships, evenings close like blessings, and mornings open like invitations. Train your appetite. An appetite that only speaks urgency cannot hear wisdom. Teach it patience. Teach it service. Teach it to decline entitlement. At first it will resist, but when it learns new grammar, it stops barging in and begins knocking. This is not repression. It is artistry. Music does not weaken because it respects silence. And your sexual energy does not lose power when it chooses its landing. It becomes stronger, planting memories that can be held without regret. Memory that does not wound is the true wealth of shared life. So build thresholds worth crossing. Let your greetings welcome without taking. Let your first touch ask before it declares. Let your goodbyes leave air so clean that hope can sprout. These are sacraments, not theatrics. They train the body to know that closeness will not demand contortion. Counterfeit intimacy always twists. True intimacy aligns. Alignment makes anticipation feel like relief instead of suspense. Carry time like a lantern. Ask what your warmth will mean to a Saturday in 5 years, a fierce conversation in 10, a quiet holiday in 20 where grief and gratitude sit side by side. Refuse the trade that buys today with tomorrow's ruin. Instead, finance today with the dividends of devotion. Sleep that softens your tone. Work that frees charm from desperation. Solitude that makes your yes incorruptible. Prayer that puts your influence under oath. These are ledgers the body remembers. Be a steward of conflict you did not start. Own your atmosphere, not every quarrel. Keep your tone human. Separate the problem from the person. Choose accuracy over victory. Victory wins the moment, but loses the decade. Accuracy trains decades to harmonize. You are not above apology. You are ahead of it. Humility keeps love solvent through storms. Let your celebration grow teeth. Toothless joy cannot eat reality. Teach it to praise small progress loudly and great triumphs quietly. Joy with teeth feeds resolve instead of numbing it. Fed resolve does not need spectacle. It carries groceries, kisses foreheads, keeps secrets. These are the miracles that make decades delicious. Chosen one, return to your vow. Be a place before you are a plan. Places heal, orient, restore, and send. Plans succeed only if places are prepared. If she can sit and breathe with you, if her laughter returns softer and freer, then the future has already begun, even without blueprints. Furnish the room, season the air, place a chair for courage and a lamp for wonder. The rest comes with morning. This is where longing becomes structure. Hope has watched you, how you end nights and begin mornings, how you carry light into darkness and quiet into noise. It has seen that your sexual energy is not a siren but a lighthouse, steady in fog. And because of that steadiness, the feminine imagination reaches for tomorrow with you unashamed. The body trusts what charges no hidden fees. A future without debt is rare. Build it slowly, line by line, until the map can be walked without guessing. Braid intimacy with infrastructure. Infrastructure is romance's bloodstream. It is water pressure that rinses laughter, hinges that make privacy a blessing, calendars that protect love from chaos. Place your brilliance in these quiet systems. When love rests on them, it does not need speeches to survive. It creates its own momentum from trust that nothing will collapse under weight. Keep appetite under oath. Power goes where it is pointed. Point it toward multiplication, not consumption. Let desire create more of what it touches. More dignity, more clarity, more laughter that heals. Listen always for aftermath. Counterfeit moments leave residue. Consecrated moments leave the air cleaner. Leave cleanly so the next arrival inherits strength, not suspicion. Absence too must be disciplined. Used to manipulate, it poisons. Used to restore, it heals. Leave to gather strength. Return with provision. People will feel what your hours have done to you. Relief will meet them. Relief steadier than excitement, more loyal than novelty. Let your voice cut without cruelty. If you must cut, cut only what does not belong. If you must stitch, stitch at the true tear. Speak at a volume people can heal inside. Sentences that refuse panic are the bridges tomorrow walks home on. Guard ceremony in ordinary hours. Ceremony is attention. The way you greet, the way you choose a seat, the way you end the night writes liturgy into the body. Steward the commons, the sink, the street, the phone turned face down. Love is a city before it is a story. And cities survive not by spectacle, but by quiet competence and repair. Stay faithful to your beginning self. Influence dissolves vows if they are not sealed. Seal your colors with rest, honest work, prayer, and service. You are being asked to become weather that blesses landscapes you may never walk. Legacy is not statues. It is sidewalks, streetlights, benches that do not splinter. Love built as infrastructure is trusted even by strangers. Teach anticipation to pray for fidelity, not fantasy. Pray that joy stays curious, grief stays eloquent, desire stays generous. Pray in nouns, light, bread, truth, time, rest. Under such prayer, impatience turns into readiness, and readiness is the most beautiful garment the future can wear. Chosen one, endurance must become your native tongue. Charm will fade, but character will keep the shop open. Desire has already chosen you. Now you must make it habitable for decades. Habitable means choices scaled for winters. Tenderness strong enough to build without collapse. The woman who longs for you already breathes the climate you have created. Keep it steady. Purpose must remain ballast, not banner. Banners are photographed. Ballast keeps ships upright. Design your life for repair. Love that cannot be serviced will collapse. Build it with modular honesty. Small truths spoken before breakdowns. Agreements written plainly enough to live by. This is how chosen ones build, not to escape winter, but to be nourished by it. And winter will come. It always comes. But with this design, It will feed you instead of destroy you.